What is the future of real estate? Is it AI? Is it VR? AI being artificial intelligence, VR being virtual reality? Hey, this is Damon Gettier, Damon Gettier & Associates, brokered by Real. Today we're going to break it down and talk about a little bit what is going to happen. What's that crystal ball look like? What may it look like? Who knows? Talk about some stuff today and you can comment below and tell us what you think. But is the world changing? Yes, the world's changing. And AI is changing the world very quickly. But how is it going to change real estate? First and foremost, I'm going to tell you what I tell my agents every single day is that if we don't service the client will find something else too. And so, if we want to stay in the transaction, in the conversation, then we need to do our job as real estate agents. We strive to do that. But what is going to happen? Zillow, who everybody knows who Zillow is. Zillow has been doing Zestimates for, maybe 15 years now, maybe a little more, something like that. And Zillow's Zestimate, I would not buy a house or sell a house based on Zillow's estimate. So that's an algorithm, that's an artificial intelligence that has been learning through billions of pieces of data. It's one of those things of what's going to happen in the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. I don't think anything, to be honest with you. I think some processes will get easier for real estate agents. I think some processes will get easier for mortgage lenders and made for title people, but will the people still be involved? Yeah, the people are still involved because the AI is not intelligent enough. It has not learned enough yet to quite get it right. The biggest proof of that would be actually Zillow. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and they still can't get the Zestimate right. And if you think about it, the Zestimate is taking actual data in every single day. The problem is that Zillow doesn't have is feelings. And what I mean by that is real estate is local, and everybody knows real estate, important things about real estate are location, location, location. You could have street A is a quote unquote good street and street B right next to it is a not good street. And so you can't do a valuation between A and B because it's two different streets. It's two different fields. Zillow has not learned how to account for that. I will tell you that if you have a flat lot or a steep lot, it affects the value of the house. Zillow cannot take that into account. Zillow has still not taken into account whether it's on a busy street or a not busy street. And all these things affect the value of properties, but the AI, the real estate's number one AI, has not learned to account for that in 15 plus years of working on their model. And so what is going to change in real estate? I think processes will change. We'll be streamlined a little bit. We'll be able to get better information to consumers, but the accuracy of that information is still going to have to come from a real estate agent because the artificial intelligences do not take into account all the little things that I just mentioned. Those are just some of the things I mentioned. You have a house next to an industrial plant. It's doing the valuation off all the other houses in the neighborhood. It's not putting the fact that it's next to an industrial plant, so it's not going to bring the same value because this over here is bringing it down. Those intricacies of a market, of a real estate market, are going to be very hard to be driven by artificial intelligence. So what is AI doing right now? AI uses huge data set. They use MLS. They use tax records to estimate a home's value instantly. Some listing descriptions are being written by AI. Some CRMs, contact relationship managers, and follow-up systems are driven by AI. CMA, which is comparative market analysis, draft, and pricing predictions are being driven by AI. Digital ad optimization and basic lead scoring. There's even companies that call prospective buyers with AI, with artificial intelligence. There are actually companies that call prospective buyers or sellers with AI and have full conversations, and the prospective buyer or seller does not know they're talking to AI. They say accurately, I say not. Because I buy houses every single month, and I don't ever buy a house based on what the Zestimate is. There's some houses, if I bought on the Zestimate, I'd be screwed. And if there's some houses that if I bought off the Zestimate, the consumer would be screwed. And so I don't ever buy off the Zestimate. We always buy off pulling actual comps in the market. You will see more of AI evaluations based on appraisals and whatnot, and where they'll be checking appraisals. So you have an appraiser do an appraiser, and they'll come in and they'll double check it with AI. You'll have, most likely on refinances, instead of having to do full appraisals, they'll have AI pull comps and see whether or not the home is at the value for the refinance and whatnot. But as far as doing the actual actual appraisals, that's not going to happen. I will tell you, insurance-wise, we deal with my insurance people here in Salem. With all the AI out there, and they deal with all the top companies in the country, they still, boots on the ground, send somebody out to the house, take pictures of the house, take pictures of the roof. They want physical evidence of what's going on in that house. They want age of the roof, HVAC systems. They want pictures of trees around it, pictures of sheds. They still, with all the AI out there, and even though you have GIS and you have satellites, they still want to see physical evidence. A lot of the data is going to be analyzed via AI, but I don't think they're going to be using the AI solely. Where you are going to have to look at it as a consumer is whether the photos of the house were generated by AI or not. I can take a house that's in really bad shape, pop it into AI, have all the pictures altered to make the house look like the Taj Mahal. So some of the things you're going to have to look at, you're going to have to be aware of that can be manipulated by AI would be the photos, would be videos, would be what the house is depicted as. They should disclose in the listing if they have done that. Should doesn't mean must. You just need to be aware of that, especially if you're buying a house sight unseen. I personally would not buy a house sight unseen. These tools are useful, but they're not deal makers. They're assistants. They help the process. What are the AI shortfalls? It cannot read a buyer's hesitation in a showing. It can't feel their emotion. It doesn't know when to hold firm or to counteroffer. It can't explain a neighborhood's nuance or know why your home's view adds value. It doesn't handle emotions, risk, or negotiation pressure. Real estate isn't just data. It's timing, psychology, and experience all wrapped up into one. What buyers and sellers still need is strategy, judgment, and empathy. A pricing tool cannot walk onto your property and understand what adds or subtracts value. A chatbot does not negotiate a $20,000 price adjustment after the home inspection. AI does not get a deal unstuck 2 days before closing. AI does not talk a buyer or seller off the ledge when they decide they're not moving forward. That's where a full-time, experienced real estate agent step in and get the job done. So what is the real risk? The real risk is being replaced by agents that know how to use AI and use it as a tool in their arsenal. Agents who ignore AI and say it's not going to happen, it's not going to benefit me, I'm not going to use it, will fall behind. Agents who learn to use AI to streamline their marketing, their communication, and their research, they will win faster and go further. It's not AI versus agents. It's agents versus agents who use AI effectively. So what we hear in the industry is people are scared of AI. They're scared to use it. They don't know how to use it. And when I say embrace it, I don't mean embrace it and you become Chat GPT Betty. I mean embrace it and figure out how you can use the tools it provides to give your customer, your buyer, your seller a better experience where you can provide more value, you can do a better job, you can serve them better. If you need to learn how to use those tools, reach out. Like we use them in our company. Our brokerage uses them. We collaborate daily with people who are using them to a high level. And so if you want to know how to use the tools that we use or they use to expand your business, to give a better customer experience, to make your life easier, reach out. If you want to join the conversation, visit us at Real Estate Success Cast on Facebook. And as always, please like, subscribe, share. Until next time, see y'all.